Welcome one and all to Mods a Minute. My name is Jake and I will be your host today. In this segment, I will attempt to analyze and review a mod in 5 minutes, split into 5 categories and timed in 1-minute intervals. My goal is to beat the clock for each interval. Today's mod will be Brutal Doom. Get ready, go. Premise. A Brazilian modder who goes under the alias Sergeant Mark IV apparently didn't think that the 90s classic Doom was violent enough. He took it upon himself to spend the next several years alleviating that issue. The mod has been in the works since 2010 and is currently in the beta for its 21st version. Despite still having tons of hours of work dedicated to improving it, it has already won some major awards in the modding community, including the first CACA award in 2011. In fact, some gameplay features that the mod added were later cleaned up and utilized in the 2016 Doom sequel, but not a sequel. Even John Romero, who was on the original Doom development team, sang his praises for this mod. Is John Romero even a meaningful endorsement anymore? Daikatana was a thing after all. Anyways, done. Child's play. Get ready, go. Adjustments. Just so we're clear, you can paint the walls red with demon gore. This isn't your dad's classic Doom, this is Brutal Doom. While the mod is primarily a gore mod, it adds so much more than a senseless violence and carnage to the game. Entire enemy behaviors will have been completely reworked. Imps will lunge at you, cyber demons can crush you under their feet, and most enemies have been horrifying finishing moves that they can now practice on you. However, you can return the favor. You can do anything from ripping their heads off to tossing their entire body through a glass window, you can blow off Hellspawn's limbs, and just so much more until they keep coming at you till you bleed out. You can kick enemies in the groin and even flip them off, both of which influence their behavior. But I wouldn't advise doing that to cyber demons, not one bit. You can now score headshots, and the game even includes new weapons like an assault rifle and a BFG-10K. You can even dual wield some weapons for even more death and destruction. If that's not enough, there's even an 18-barrel Gatling gun. Overkill. The game also gets a beautiful graphical overhaul and a new set of crisp and effects. Doom Guy even gets a voice actor. In addition, the mod allows you to recruit fully voiced Marine allies who will help you to annihilate the hordes of hell should you rescue them. You can order them around if you want to enhance your experience with some tactics. Oh, and you can now drive tanks. Done. Get ready, go. Impact. This mod basically makes the game into Doom 2016 with the graphics and level design of classic Doom. You can actually load most WAD files, Brutal Doom basically meaning that you can play Chex Quest with Brutal Doom if you wanted to. Why any sane person would do that is beyond me, but you can do it. It adds much more depth and strategy to Doom with the new enemy attacks and AI with the friendly Marines who you can rescue and order around. I'm not going to lie, Brutal Doom is a lot harder than Vanilla Doom, and this actually makes some of the WADs impossible to complete. If I can guarantee that to you, you will die a lot. This isn't helped by any of the fact that you now actually have to reload your weapons unlike the base game. You have to spend time aiming at specific enemies and body parts to kill them quicker or easier rather than just aiming in their general direction. There are, however, some anti-frustration measures implemented. The pistol that you start with is replaced by an assault rifle, which can be dual wielded by obtaining a second one. To its credit though, however, the pistol is upgraded to what is essentially a 50 caliber hand cannon that can be dual wielded. This mod keeps the level design, some mechanics, and a bit of other graphics from the original game, but that's about it. I mean, I guess the music is the same, but that can even be modded to be more, well, brutal. Everything else has changed, and well, honestly, is it for the better though? I guess we'll find out in a moment. Done. Get ready, go. Nonsense. Like I said, this mod makes the game a lot harder, which can be a huge deal breaker for casual players. There is a power fantasy difficulty setting in which there are as many enemies on the hardest difficulty setting, but they hit for only 25% of the normal damage that they deal. But honestly, the difficulty's name alone feels condescending. Honestly, this mod mostly just turns Doom into those infamous comics thanks to all the references strewn about in it. It makes Doom Guy seem like more cartoony and akin to the hero of a cheesy B-movie because that's exactly how Doom Guy in the comics were portrayed. But yes, you do get a rip tear like a Berserk pack and a BFG-10K is pretty cool, but the whole thing can seem like overkill at times. It's like someone took a good idea and kept adding and adding and adding until it barely resembles the original idea. Oh, and with all the extra particles required to mutilate enemies and make the ceiling literally drip blood, good luck if you're playing with a keyboard and mouse. This mod will microwave your hand if your computer can't meet its graphical and processing demands efficiently. Not that playing with a controller is much better, there's nearly not enough buttons on any controller to cover every single action and maneuver that you can perform in this game. I found myself mapping out my Xbox Elite controller the best that I could, but half the time I would have to quickly switch the keyboard and turn on my in-hand game flashlight. For one instance, I died because I couldn't put down the controller and hit the G key fast enough to drop the grenade at a crowd of enemies. The controls are more or less, pick your poison. Done. Get ready, go. This mod, all in all, is great if you love non-stop carnage and want to turn the legions of hell into Swiss cheese and blood sausages. It is, to my knowledge, the most prolific and iconic Doom mod. If you enjoyed Doom 2016 but missed the nostalgic graphics and music of the original game, give this mod a try. Even if you just want more of a challenge, this mod goes far and beyond than just giving enemies more health and increasing their damage output. Additionally, this entire mod isn't an all or nothing deal. There are some parts of the mod that you can disable. You can even turn the blood off altogether if you know. Do what I did and crank that gore up to comic levels, brutal damage. Brutal Doom is not for everyone, and it will overstay its welcome for some. However, if you choose to play it, you will find that it certainly lives up to its name. It is Doom, and it is brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse, rip and tear, until it is done.